Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Thank you so much for being here. Let me just clear the field. Just clearing the field. This is kind of in my face. And I think it's gonna be a long, long time to touchdown. Brings me round again to find I'm not the man you think I am at home. Oh no, no, no. And this is what I should have said. That was a song I had this morning. It's by Elton John and Dua Lipa, Cold Heart. It's a human sign when things go wrong, when the scent of her lingers, and the temptation's strong. Cold, cold heart, hardened by you. Some things looking better, baby. Just passing through. No, no, no. And I think it's going to be a long time till I touch down and it brings me back again to find I'm not the man you think I am at home. And this is what I should have said. Well, I thought it, but I kept it hid. Cold, cold heart. Something's looking better, just passing through. I'm not the man you think I am at home. And this is what I should have said. Well, I thought it, but I kept it hid. Good morning, everybody. Hello. Hello. Spirit said modulate. I'm doing very well. Thank you so much. How are you? Please come on in. My name is Patience. I am your favorite spirit medium, host of Spirit News on all major platforms, which you can find through the link in the description bar through the link. Or if you're on TikTok, if you're watching us on TikTok, you can go to the bio that will take you to our YouTube channel, Patience with Spirit. Hello, good morning. Thank you so much for tuning in. Every weekend we post, every Saturday and Sunday. We try to do a true crime read and a celebrity read, but sometimes we do a get to know you. Sometimes we do what we're doing now, which is what does the spirit wants you to know. And I don't know what's going to come through. I don't control what comes through. I just ask and I receive the messages. So, oh, thank you so much. Thank you for being here. I'm happy that you're doing good. The energies are very heightened at this time. We just want you to know that we are getting closer to the sun. And so, Spirit has told me that when that happens, it's a cycle. And when we get closer to the sun, what it really means on our soul level is that we're integrating more light into our light bodies. I'm addicted to true crime stories. Yes, I am too. You know what? I'm not addicted to true crime stories. I'm addicted to wanting to know the truth. I'm addicted to wanting to understand, like, how do people get to that point? How do we get here? How do we go through all these emotions and then that is the final culmination of the emotions being felt? So, can you really understand my soul? I don't know. I'm trying to learn my spiritual abilities and I'm not always the best at interpreting the energetic information, but I'm learning. And what I know is that we are first and foremost energy and that everybody speaks the language of energy even before they speak words, okay, or any earth language. So, and I think the language of the soul is something that we have labeled as spiritual abilities, but it's really just something how we speak to each other when we're not in our bodies, which is energetically. Fallen angels are just vile, sedacious rebels. I don't know. Are they? What if? I'm not saying that they aren't the shadow aspect of ourselves, but we are on earth. And here on earth, we have to have the opposite. How do you know what's good if you don't experience what's bad? How do you know what is for you if you don't experience things you don't want? How do you know what you want if you don't know how you don't want? And how do you know what you don't want unless you have temptation and you have corruption and you have these possibilities to choose from for you to understand shadow aspects of yourself? And so, I think we demonize these shadow aspects or the shadow part of this reality, but really it's just a balanced scale where we're constantly trying to stay in the middle of too much shadow and too much light, because you don't want to be, one, you want to be both. And for instance, like, let's put it on a really small scale for to digest. Say you're trying to reprogram your brain from overeating. Okay. You know that when you overeat, you don't feel good. You know that you overeat when you're very emotional. You know that you overeat when you're bored. There's reasons that are emotional for why you overconsume things that you shouldn't, that ultimately make you feel bad, right? Well, you wouldn't know that if you didn't do it. And so that's the shadow part of it. That would be what the sin of gluttony, if we're gonna put like a religious smack on it, like that would be the sin. That would be the demon, right? But you can learn how to control that by understanding why you feel in those emotional states you need to overeat. And so, because you have experienced the shadow aspect, well, now you can understand how to balance that and how to use your emotions to understand why you're doing it. So, it's not that I don't think that we should demonize shadow aspects. Yeah, it can be horrible, but really, our mind our mind state is going to project where we're at now energetically. And so if you are prone to thinking very negative, then you're going to look at a lot of things very negative. You could be really in your shadow aspect. So, a woman by design is an alpha who is to precede the omega male and the recipient of her wisdom, which he goes into privacy to reflect. Sadly, we didn't do that and just forced knowledge upon him. Yeah, we definitely. Well, what we need to understand is this is a cycle that's happened many many times before. This isn't the first time where masculine energy has been dominant, and it's not going to be the last. And there's many, many cycles that we've been through where we go through a bronze age, we go through a dark age, a bronze age, a silver age, and now we're going into a golden age where we're going to be balanced in our masculine and feminine. So we do have a live broadcasting episode for Spirit News coming up on Saturday, the 28th, I believe, at 6 a.m., or you can join us if you'd like live for our 19th episode of Spirit News, which is the rise of divine feminine energy, where the feminine energy is now coming into play and it's being integrated. And that's why it's kind of seems chaotic on the outside. It's because the dragon's coming in and just kind of cleaning up some stuff, kind of bringing some stuff to the surface for us to integrate, for us to start letting in more divine feminine energy. So there's definitely a lot going on, but I want you to know I'm here for you, and I understand if you're going through some high emotional times, even some low emotional times. I just want you to know that it's a natural part of integration, and it's not to make you feel bad about yourself. It's to help you understand yourself. It's to help you see things you got to clean up, because when we're going into this new energy, it's pushing the things that don't match it energetically to the surface. So if there's any fears you haven't overcome, if there's any emotional, blockages that you haven't looked at, if there's any kind of biases or things that hold you back, they're going to be coming up right now. So It might seem like a little chaotic, especially on a macro scale. We have a lot of things going on, but you just have to understand energy, and it's a reflection of our energy. When we don't work on ourselves and we focus on things that are outside of us that we cannot control, and we don't focus on the things we can control, it will be reflected in our lives. It will be reflected in the outside, because that's how energy works. It's like an infinity sign. It's like a figure eight. It goes in and out. So you experience what you are, what you feel. So we're going to tap into the energy, just kind of see what Spirit wants us to know, what Spirit wants us to focus on. Um, I was going to do Ozzy Osbourne. He was coming to me, but I didn't expect to do a reading today because I do have to work later, but so I will say I wasn't 100% focused on Ozzy's energy, but I did get a song this morning, which was weird. It was Cold Heart by Elton John and Dua Lipa. I'm not the man they think I am at home, and this is what I should have said. Well, I thought it, but I kept it hid. Cold, cold heart, hardened by you. Some things looking better, baby, just passing through. And I think it's going to be a long, long time to touchdown brings me around again to find I'm not the man they think I am at home. Oh, no, no, no. So I have a feeling what that means, but I'm just I'm gonna say it in a minute. I'm not sure. If we touch our energy, we'll glow. I love your spirit. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much. I was gonna do Ozzy. I was getting some things about Ozzy, but I wasn't full hearted in it. So I don't want to do him an injustice. Maybe I'll do him tomorrow. I'll definitely do him tomorrow. Or else I'm gonna do a dry, fully loaded 53 trailer through high traffic with my air brakes off. Why are you gonna do that? I wouldn't do that. Don't do that. Do Ozzy when you're ready. Oh, thank you, Alexander. Yes, I definitely want to. I was getting some things, but I think the song is Ozzy. Is honestly what I feel. I think the song is Ozzy. I'm not the man you think I am at home. I'm not the man you think I am at home. Oh, no, no, no. He is silly. Um, I'm not gonna do Ozzy. He is poking his head in here right now. Ozzy, I'm not ready for you. He's giving me like this nauseous feeling in my stomach. I'm not ready to do Ozzy. I need more time. I need more time. Road to Nowhere. I don't know that song. Hold on. Let me see. Road to Nowhere. Ozzy Osbourne. Let me see. I actually never heard an Ozzy Osbourne song in my life. In my life. So let's see. I can't play it too loud. Let me read the lyrics. I was looking back on my life and all the things I've done to me. I'm still looking for the answers. I'm still searching for the key. The wreckage of my past keeps haunting me. Maybe Ozzy. Maybe I should do Ozzy. Maybe I should do Ozzy. The wreckage of my past keeps haunting me. It just won't leave me alone. I still find it all a mystery. Could it be a dream? The road to nowhere leads to me. Through all the happiness and sorrow, I guess I do it all again. Live for today and not tomorrow. It's still the road that never ends. The wreckage of my past keeps haunting me. It just won't leave me alone. That's funny because I also have you ever had reoccurring dreams? You're talking about covering an Ozzy Osbourne song and not like channeling him, right? No, I'm talking about channeling him for sure. Um, he wanted to come through. He came through to me 3 times this week, and I was going to do it, but I worked today, so I was like, well, I'm not gonna, because I couldn't give my all to him. So I was like, well, let me not channel him. I'll just see what Spirit wants us to know. But he's really coming through right now. but he's really coming through. Hey, everybody. Thank you so much for being here. I love you so much. I'm so grateful for all of you. Thank you so much for all the love and support. So, but you wanted me to hear this song because dang, that's even more impressive to be able to do. Oh, thank you. Anybody can do it. He was on a lot of drugs. Well, let me see. Because I got this. Have you ever had a reoccurring dream? What's your favorite family memory? Be able to change the past or see into the future. What is your favorite hobby and how did you get into it? And when were you last in a fight and what caused it and who won? And what's your go-to activity to de-stress? So that's definitely interesting. I'm getting a lot of Ozzy vibes. I'm sorry I'm not doing any co-hosts right now. Thank you so much. So could it be a dream? And have you had reoccurring dreams? So if this isn't Ozzy, there's somebody here who's dreaming about some kind of memory that may have happened in the past. Something that they may not have overcome or something that haunts them. Something that they did in the past. The road to nowhere is going to pass me by. I hope we never have to say goodbye. I never want to live without you. The wreckage of my past keeps haunting me. It just won't leave me alone. I still find it all a mystery. Could it be a dream? The road to nowhere leads to me. You gotta leave. That's funny because I just said that we have to stop focusing on the outside. We have to stop trying to, fix things on the outside and start fixing things on the inside. Let's channel some hot rails. Well, there's no judgment. We don't do hot rails here, but if that's the path you're on right now, then you gotta, see it through to the end, to wherever that leads you. So I could listen to your voice forever. It's soothing. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. Good morning, Robin. Hello. Good morning. Hey, Varg. George is just showing support. If you view support as being thirsty, then you may want to consider how people are supporting you and if you have any support in your life or if you feel that you're not being supported. So those are those instant impulsive reactions or perceptions are the clues that are going to tell you about what you need most in your life. Because being supportive of people is not thirsty. That's a misidentification. Supporting people should be something that we all do for each other, and it shouldn't feel yucky and it shouldn't make you feel uncomfortable. No judgment. I'm just pointing out clues to people's psyches that they might not see. That ended back in 98 when Escobar was killed. What? The rails or whatever he said? What did he call it? I've never heard it called that, but he said hot rails. I will admit, back in the day, maybe, but not for a long time. Not for a long time. No drugs here. I need a good woman in my life. Cocaine train. Good. You guys are funny. You guys are making me laugh. Hey, no judgments here. Everybody's on their own journey. All right. So there's somebody here. Let's begin. So we went to our Go Deeper cards. There's somebody here who's thinking about the past. They are thinking about we're talking about the collective. This could be more like a macro reading, like the things that Spirit sees from a higher perspective that the collective is focusing on. But like I said, this is a time of upheaval, so it's going to have you thinking about your future. It's going to have you thinking about your past. It's going to ask you to, it says, what's your go-to de-stress activity? So Spirit could be asking us to stop thinking about those things, and try to focus more on what we can do to like alleviate those thoughts. Spirit always tells me if you're thinking of the past, you're depressed. And if I'm sorry, if you're depressed, your thoughts are in the past. And if you have anxiety, your thoughts are in the future. And when they told me that, I was like, oh my gosh, that makes a lot of sense to me. That's why they always say the only moment that matters is now. And it's like easy to say that. It definitely takes a lot of training your mind and reprogramming to be able to control your thoughts as they come in. But I can definitely say that it's possible, and that I'm not perfect at it, and I definitely have my moments where I'm like I gotta catch myself. But I'm so grateful that I get to catch myself, and that I can be aware, like, oh, that's not a thought that feels good. It's not something that's happening. It's not something that's true. It's not something I can fix. It's not something I can change. So let me think of something better. You look traumatized about something. Well, aren't we all traumatized? That's the reason why we come here. Everybody comes here to experience a little bit of pepper. Hey, finger scrolling and stopped on you. Soothing voice and great thoughts and explanations. Oh, thank you, Jared. Thank you. Oh yeah, more new age wisdom from wayward souls. This should be good listening. Oh, thank you for being here. I'm glad you're here. Anything that's here is meant for you if you were drawn to me. All of you need to listen to a guide through spiritual work. Absolutely. Yes, definitely 100%. You are your own guru. You are your own spiritual guide. You should only be asking your own spirit guides for guidance, honestly. But Spirit is saying that what we should be doing is resting. This is a rest period. De-stress. What are things that you do to de-stress? Well, for myself, I absolutely love 100% to move my energy. What does that mean? Going for a walk, going into nature, going on the elliptical. Those are the things I do to move energy. When I see spirit in their spirit form, they're constantly moving. They're like, for me, in what I see in my mind's eye is them shuffling. I don't know if you guys know that dancing, but shuffling is like, that I can't shuffle at all. I wish I could. I'm actually trying to learn. It's definitely very hard, but I'm learning. But spirit shuffles in when I see them, and they're constantly moving and like morphing and always pure positive energy. And so when we're in our bodies, it's really important, if you want to de-stress, if you want to move energy, if you want to stop stagnation, if you want to get out of your stressful mind, you have to move your energy. And we're going into a new earth energies where you're going to have to pay more attention to your non-physical energy and the things that it takes to I don't know what the word is, to take care of that. There are things that you need to do to address non-physical energy things that happen. Energy blockages, emotional blockages, stress. These are things that distort our field, our magnetic field. And if you want to be grounded, and if you want to flow with energy instead of being like like this so uptight, then you have to move it. You have to intentionally move it. And so, what I love doing is when I'm on the elliptical, I'll close my eyes and I'll put on a song that has no words. I personally love, I just found it actually, and I absolutely freaking love it. I usually do dubstep because the rhythm of it just identifies with my soul. But I've been listening to, what was it? Oh my gosh, what the heck? Spotify recommended it. Oh wait, let me look. Spotify recommended it to me and I was like, "Oh my god, I really like this." It's Space Base. Oh my god, I love it. No, I'm not on drugs unless you count caffeine. I don't do drugs. Joe Dirt says, take a shower. Also, instrumental groove metal. Oh, instrumental groove metal? Oh my God. I'll write that down. Thank you. So I like to, thank you. Groove metal. Thank you. So I put on the space, I close my eyes, I'm on the elliptical, and I let spirit show me like what unfolds. And usually it's like this, almost like a Tron grid. Have you guys ever seen Tron? It's like this field of a grid, and I'll be transmuting stuff. They'll always have me transmuting stuff, like turning monsters into flowers, and then this bubble of energy gets bigger, and I'm always moving on like a motorcycle, or I'm flying with Archangel Michael, and we're like turning things into trees and stuff, and it's really fun. But it's just an exercise that Spirit has me do for my mental body to move energy, because if you have things that are going on and you're not actively intentionally working with your guides to move the energy, because you're first and foremost energy, you can be very stressed, you can be in your thoughts, you can be stagnant, you can feel uncreative, you can feel depressed, you can be really in your emotions, and it becomes harder for you to get out of that. And so moving the energy allows new energy to come in, because you're like a torus field. Your magnetic field is like a torus field. And so, and like the infinity sign, like I was saying, like the infinity sign, except it's like going in and then out, and then in and then out, and then in and then out. And so literally like quantum mechanics, like you have to move it. You have to move those emotions, you have to move those thoughts, you have to move those thoughts of the past or the future, and you have to find things that you like now, find things that you love now, that make you happy now, even if it's just a cup of coffee, even if it's a game, even if it's coloring. You have to and do things for your soul before you do things for your human self. And so often we're like, okay, I want to take care of myself, I'm going to go to the gym, but you haven't cleared your thoughts, you haven't cleared your emotions, and so you're at the gym thinking about how it is instead of how you want it to be. And one way that people have a hard time losing weight and stuff, or what Spirit tells me, I can't prove it, but Spirit tells me, and I'm just applying it to my own life, and it's working for me. But if you go to the gym and you want to have this body, you know, and you want to stop eating so much, and you want to, there's all these things you want to do to like have goals for working out and stuff. But so often the gym, and they're working out how their body is, instead of imagining how they want their body to be, because they don't understand their thoughts, they don't understand how it works. And so you can't wake up and then think, I'm not going to eat the whole fridge today like I usually do. I'm going to do it this time. No, you got to say, I love the idea of controlling my appetite and having discipline so I can be the best me I can be. You have to really change the way that you think about things. You have to change the way that you really talk to yourself, the way that you perceive yourself. You have to stop thinking about how it is or how it used to be, and think about how you want it, and don't think about how you don't want it, think about how you want it. So it definitely works. I can 100% guarantee you that it works, but it's a reprogramming, because our whole society does not tell us about energy, does not tell us about how thoughts work. But I can guarantee you that they know how it works. They know the loopholes. They know that we're not going to put energy into believing that energy is something we should even pay attention to. But I can 100% guarantee you that it is. Because you're first and foremost energy. You're 100% energy having a human experience. You're pure positive energy. So Spirit is saying right now in this time, or for whoever's having these recurring dreams, or it could be referring to these recurring cycles that keep happening, these bursts of, horrible things that keep happening, that may be reflecting our thoughts, that are reflecting our insides, so in order to stop these things from happening, from reoccurring, we have to focus on we have to focus on ourselves, the things that are going to take care of us, our health, our body, our minds, our souls. What's your de-stress activity? Does anybody want to share what they do to de-stress? Does anybody have any suggestions? Anything they do? Read into all Tesla's inventions. There's a reason they were covered up. Oh my gosh, Vang! I just got Tesla the other day. Yes, Vang. I'm gonna write Tesla down. Yes, I do want to talk to Tesla. Absolutely. Absolutely. The world is our mirror. Yes, spiritual gang stars. It absolutely is our mirror. Hey, I feel like my spirit talks to me through transforming pictures made of white forms of lights, creating moments on the back of my eyes. When closed, almost like small slow motion movies. Wow, that's really cool. That's really awesome. I actually had a dream about that. Jared. I had a dream my spirit guides came to me, and it was this secret mission, and we had to go to this secret location. It was like this old industrial building, like made of bricks, and it was my spirit guide Mish, which is a future past version of myself. I know it sounds confusing. If you want to know about that, there's a TikTok about it, and it has a picture of her. I made a picture of her, what she looked like. But she came to me in my dream, and she took me into this room. She's like, wait here, I have to get this tool. And she went and she got this tool. And I said, what's that going to do? She goes, it's going to clean the eyes behind. I'm sorry. She said, it's going to clean the lies behind your eyes. And I was like, okay. So she did something to my eyes, and this light came out of my eyes, and it projected onto the wall. And there was all these distorted words that were like ugly and like written like ugly. They weren't a beautiful uniform. They're like really distorted. And I go, what's that? And she goes, those are the lies. And she goes, I'm gonna clean it up. And I said, how? She goes, I'm gonna put this tool on your face. And it was like this like eye mask thing. And she put it on my eyes, and I could see in the back of my mind all of these lies that were told to me from family, from government, just like everything. And she was like cleaning them like a projector. And I was like, oh my gosh. And then I don't know, I got the feeling it was some kind of like upgrade or something, or some kind of like download or something. But what you just said reminded me of that. Listen, I just want to watch her make a sandwich and eat it, guys. I've done 3 Canadian Blizzard rails off her face, and I'm out of beer. I have to switch to whiskey. Vang, that sounds that sounds horrible. I'm sorry that you're going through that. I do not wish that on anybody. Power 369. Oh my gosh, spiritual gangster. Listen to this. I used to be obsessed with Wu-Tang and the 36 chambers, and so my favorite number became 36. And 3 plus 6 is 9, and then 369 ever since I was 14 years old. I really resonate with 369. Tesla came up with some of these sick ideas on a quality bender. Perhaps. Yeah, Wu-Tang Clan ain't nothing to fuck with. I used to love Wu-Tang. I used to absolutely love Wu-Tang. I don't love him so much anymore because I've listened to it so many times I can't even listen to it anymore. So, Spirit's asking us to focus more on de-stressing. We're so focused on changing things outside of ourselves that we can't change. They want us to focus on a hobby, to find things that make us feel good, to find things that make us feel good emotionally. What's your favorite hobby and how did you get into it? My favorite is ODB. We did a reading on ODB. We did a reading. Excuse me. You remind me of a woman I know named Reina. You remind me of a girl that I once knew. See your face whenever I look at you. Method Man. My favorite was Capadonna. Oh, thank you, Alexander. My favorite was Capadonna. I don't know why. I just loved his album. He was like, I came to the fork in the road and went straight right out the crack vow to the golden gate. See the silver spoon in my mouth that had cake. I just love it. I used to love it. You know, you should listen to the reading for ODB because it was very interesting. It was very interesting. Let me fix my hair flip. Perfect. It was very interesting. It was something about how he made it. He knew going in. He made a deal with whoever. I hope I'm remembering it right. To be where he was initially, and then he couldn't handle certain emotional things. He got what he wanted in the energy he was in, and so he couldn't deal with certain things. So it he got him kicked out, and then he got to a point where he was he had a lot of influence, and so they wanted him back, and he was clean and he was sober and he was trying to live that sober life. But as soon as they reeled him back in, he went right back to where he was before. So there's definitely a tug and a pull energy with ODB. I'm not Canadian. I'm not Canadian. I know the whole woo. I know what I want and I know how to get it. That's fantastic. I'm so happy about that. Just remember, you may know what you want and know how to get it, but just make sure that you're in a heart consciousness because you'll get what you want in the energy that you're in. Okay? So if you're in your mind or if you're in your root chakra, knowing what you want and knowing how to get it, if you're not in your heart consciousness, it will not be sustainable. It's not going to be sustainable. It's going to be received in the energy in which you created it. Okay. So Spirit's asking you to find a hobby, find something to create, something that, because we're creators. If you're not clearing your field and if you're not moving your energy, if you're focusing too much outside of yourself and you're not working on your own joy, on your own happiness, there's no way that you can possibly expect the world to be what you want it to be and then you'll be happy. You have to be happy now. And so in order for us to change the world, we have to focus on the things that make us happy and stop focusing on the things outside of ourselves that we cannot change, that we cannot fix by ourselves. If you want to change the world, you have to change yourself first. So there's definitely someone here who there may be some energy about, control issues, about needing to control the outcomes of things, about something that someone did that they may be regretting they did, that's haunting them because they couldn't release control. They didn't want something that happened in the past to happen again, and so they tried to change something. Something that may have to do with family, or Spirit could be saying, focus on your families. If you have families, that's a blessing. You shouldn't feel stuck. That song said, I'm not the man you think I am at home. And even Ozzy Osbourne, even in his, craziness, he's had his family. And that was the one thing that I feel, I'm not reading him, but it's definitely coming through. That's like the one thing that may have grounded him. I flipped my life over the last year from being a heroin addict on the streets to running a successful business and lawn maintenance. Sober, what helped me most was bringing God into my life. Yes, absolutely. Yes, that's fantastic. I am so happy for you. Thank you for doing that. That's beautiful. Change the world by talking less and teaching by example. Absolutely. Yes, it's not about what we say, it's about what we do. Your actions and your example will have way more impact than anything you can say, any words you can say, any promises you can make. You don't have to say anything as long as you're living that life, as long as you're finding joy. Rejoice. Yes, Robin. As long as you're finding joy, you're asking yourself, how can I make it better? What can I do for me right now to feel good, to have happiness? Ozzy was a family man over all else. Man could run a week-long bender and still think of his kids, but he did not fuck with cats. Well, I think that's the one thing that may have, kept him grounded. And we take, the society we have now is definitely has a distortion on family because we have so many, single family parents, and we have so many people who are not in union and who are deciding to not have families because of the state of what's around them. And I totally understand that. And I'm not saying that you have to have a family. But I will say that, unions of your family doesn't have to be kids. It could be your friends. It could be, your coworkers. We should all have an energy of being family and communion, a community. And that makes us an energetic family. That's what I'm getting at. God came through for me to relieve me of a desire to have intense amounts of cocaine in the 80s. I got over it real quick and my body shifted so many times. I'm in like the seventh heaven of God. Handle this. Right? Once you give it to God and anything you're going through, you realize you have help all the time. Things become easier to overcome, or at least easier to observe them, so you can overcome them, or you can shift them, or redirect them. I definitely had my own things with drugs. We definitely partied a lot back in the day, and there were times where I was scared, where I was like, oh my gosh, is this becoming a problem? Because it kind of sneaks up on you, it kind of like, you don't think it's going to be a problem when you're having fun, and then you're doing it every weekend, and then all of a sudden you're doing it a couple nights in the middle of the week on a Tuesday, and you're like, what the heck? You're doing it to like do the grocery shopping, and you're like, okay, I think this is, getting out of hand. But I definitely agree with Robin. If you just realize that you are guided and that God wouldn't let you come here without help, without your ancestors, without your loved ones, without angels that are here to help you on the spirit level, to let you know things you cannot see, things that are holding you back that you don't understand. That's when you ask for help from your spirit team. When things keep happening and you finally come to a point where you're like, okay, I need help. It shouldn't have to get to that point, but that's usually what happens, is when we decide to surrender, when we're at the lowest point. And that's when, spirit will start to show you things that help you to overcome, or that bring you people that will help you, or that, bring you situations that'll get you out of the things you've gotten yourself into. There's definitely Spirit's definitely wanting us to let you know that you're not alone. You're absolutely 100% never alone. And I'm not talking like in a creepy spy way, like gang stalking and stuff. I'm talking about your spirit team. Everyone is assigned a spirit team. And even back in ancient times, they knew this and they honored that, and they paid homage to their ancestors, and they always conversed with their loved ones on the other side, with their spirit team, for guidance, for what to do in certain situations. So that's still true. Just because it's modern times doesn't mean that's not true. And so we're going into an energy where we're going to have to start reconciling that again, but in a totally new modern way that's never been done before. So it's actually a very exciting time. I'm a heroin addict through and through, but this Fetty shit sucks. Oh, well, I'm sorry to hear that. Westbound and down. I send you prayers, and I hope that you are able to overcome that, and that someday you will not need it. Just dump a load in someone with good genetics and have the kid. Kids are cool. People who plot them against you suck. Or what did you say? Or not. Jeez. I hope people aren't plotting. I hope people aren't turning people's children against them. That's horrible. A planet of playthings, we dance on the strings of powers we cannot perceive. The stars are aligned, or the gods are malign. Blame is better to give than receive. Only way I kicked blues was with meth. I know, but baby steps works for me. Hey, no judgment here. No judgment here. Your path is your path, and you have to experience what you don't want to know what you want. So, no judgment here. No, I'm not jaundice. It's my light. I could be blue. I could be both of them. Or I like this one because it's nice and warm. Hey, Sarah, we're not judging. You know, everybody's on their own journey and everybody has gone through things, and you know, we can't judge people who are in the middle of their journey. So we're just gonna allow people to vent, to say what they need to say, to be supported, to be a community. Okay? Smoke opium like a man and invent a cool sport like dodgeball. Smoking opium reminds me of like the Dragon's Den or something. Ugh, all this drug talk is making my face tingle. Ugh, put on a silly hat. I don't have any silly hats. So a big message in this is community. Community, being there for each other. You know, not judging each other's journey. When you see somebody who's, you know, down and out or in a lesser place than you are energetically, you know, we don't know how they got there. We don't know what they went through. We don't know what type of, you know, situation put them in that place. So, but what we do need to know is that they need that. There's something in their soul's contract where they wanted to experience addiction in some form of way, or the addiction is the result of not experiencing something that they were meant to experience and to integrate it. So we have to understand that addiction is just your body's way of dealing, or just your mind's way of dealing with something that's hard to deal with. So, oh, thank you, Justin. Heyoka Empath Eyes. I've actually heard that before. Thank you. That's a compliment. If you choose not to decide, you still have made a choice. You can choose from phantom fears and kindness that can kill. I will choose a path that's clear. I will choose free will. Yes, absolutely. It's like if you know that something wrong is happening and you choose to ignore it, or you choose to stay out of it, then you are actually choosing to not help, to not be of service, to not do what's right. So that's definitely true, I think. I found 3 beers in the garage fridge. Small wins, Ving. Good for you. Small wing. Small wangs. Small wins. Small wins. Good for you. Bystander effect. Yeah, for sure. Jack, I'm sorry. I don't have a silly hat. Here. Here's my silly hat. What is the last thing you do before bed? Small wang. I put the win and the bang together. I'm sorry. That's so funny. You guys, I love you so much. These are so much fun. Didn't know if I was going to do a reading, and I'm not really doing a reading, I guess, and I'm sorry about that, but I just have fun with you guys. So, my new gamer tag, small way. Oh, that's tickling me. I find that funny. Very funny, guys. Okay, let me see. What time is it? Okay, I got about 10 more minutes before I gotta go up. So let me see. Spirit, what else? What do you want us to know? What are some things? What are some things? Oh, thank you, Alexander. I love you too. Hi, Ashley. Welcome. Welcome. Oh, thank you, Sarah. There are those who think that they were dealt a losing hand. The cards were stacked against them. That they weren't born in Lotus Land. Yeah, that's a great thing to bring up. Because it's like, what came first, the chicken or the egg? Because there will be times where there'll be a soul that has a lot of karmic debt. And so they're born into a karmic family and they're born into karmic situations. But who's to say that they can't overcome that by changing the way they think? By changing, by deciding, no, I don't want to continue these cycles. I don't want to be like my parents. I don't want to continue the curses my parents put on me? So it's like, I definitely think you can be born karmic or because of, your own soul's choices that they made in the past and your ancestors. But I also believe that you can at any time decide to change those generational curses and choose a different cycle and create a different path for sure. When you leave, I'm going to have to find a new stream to harass and share my drug use with. What a shame. And I thought this chat was a family and you're going to go break it up. Oh, I'm sorry. Nothing lasts forever. I think that's one thing addicts need to understand is that it's a temporary feeling. And when you're feeling good, I'm sharing energy with you and I'm glad it's making you feel good, but eventually you have to learn how to sustain that energy on your own. Oh, what was Ashley's question? I'm so sorry. I want to know if my twins are going to be healthy. Ashley, the answer to your question is we will pray about that because I believe in energy shifting. Yeah, Ashley, I'm sorry I can't tell you that. You have to believe it. You have to know that whatever's meant for you will be meant for you no matter what it is. No matter what it is, whatever is meant for you will unfold the way it's unfold. So instead what I would say to you is I don't know what's going to happen with my twins, but I absolutely love the idea of them being safe, of them being loved, and of them being of the best positive outcome that I could possibly get. Mindful wisdom, create inner harmony. Thank you. I just said that. Create inner harmony. Didn't I just say that? Spirit said, control your thoughts. Stop thinking about what's going on around you and control your own thoughts. Worry about your own mind. Start thinking about how I'm having twin boys. Oh, congratulations. I send you positivity and loving vibes, and I wish nothing but the best for you, and I hope that you have the most positive outcome possible. Alexander, you're 100% correct. I was one of those people almost beat to death at 10 years old. Not that person anymore. I left there and all the emotion connected to it. Good for you, Robin. Good for you. I don't want to say what I've been through because it's really dark, but it's true. You can overcome it. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. We come here to experience the opposite of what we are. We're pure positive energy. And we come here to have limiting experiences so we can overcome and remember our true soul's potential. And we do it because we think it's going to be fun. Spirit always tells me the song by McGill. It's where's the fun in forever, living in a sea of time? If there was no end or beginning, how would we know that we're having fun? And so I think with the veil of forgetting, we don't remember that part of it. And so we get really attached to the things that are happening to us. But I remember past lives where I've done, in a lot of my own personal alternate realities that I'm living, I was like a sorceress and a sorcerer, and I was using magic against people's wills, and I was doing love potions, and I was, trying to be powerful in that way in other lives. But in this life, my name is Patience. I was named Patience because in all of my other lives, I see that I get to this point where I do a lot of work and then I get impatient and I decide to take it one step further and like go into this other path that changes the trajectory of my fate into a more karmic one. And so in this life, I've literally overcome a lot of those alternate life karmic choices I made by not doing magic, by not doing any of that, but actually coming into Christ consciousness naturally, patiently, taking my time, asking for guidance, not doing it all on my own. And I've overcome so much that it's like I've literally become somebody that you cannot break my peace. You cannot break my peace. There's nothing that you can bring to me that will push me out of peace. And it's one of the most beautiful feelings that I could share with you. And it's going to make me cry because it's so beautiful to wake up and your natural thought is joyful. And to be able to control your thoughts in that way, like you can't control much, but you can control your thoughts. You can redirect them, you can transmute them, and you can absolutely 100% do that and find joy every day, no matter what you've been through. And I've been through a lot. So I can 100% say that I'm doing it. I'm literally doing it. And anyone can do it. If I can do it, anyone can do it. And I'm super passionate about that. And we share all of that, all of those nuggets with you on Spirit News, our podcast, where we bring you higher perspectives of linear views. You can control your financial stability also, especially if you have multiple lifetimes of knowledge. Absolutely. We've been getting lots of downloads about that, Christian. Your ability to be responsible monetarily is connected to your energy, to where you're at in your energy. If you're somebody who overspends, if you're somebody who who goes therapy shopping or is addicted to spending money runs through your fingers, then you may want to consider where your energy is at and what your energy is telling you. You're spending money in a way that's not disciplined, that doesn't have self-control. So I definitely agree with that. Your energy will determine where you're at with responsibility with money, for sure. I'm conceiving holding hands with her at the park. I'm so happy that you're having positive thoughts. I love that. Why is your nose crooked? Well, my nose was crooked because when I was 14, 15, I was in ninth grade. My neighbor, Ricky, her and her sister jumped me. Her and her sister jumped me with her kids. They came over with their kids and they jumped me because this boyfriend I was with at the time threw his Coke at me in their car and it spilled all over and it was so sticky. And they came over and they beat me up when I was 14 or 15. I'm not addicted to spending money. I'm just addicted to money. I don't have any and I want more. Well, be careful. Be careful. That's a chaser mentality. You're not addicted to money. You're addicted to the way it feels when you have it, the safety it provides for you. When you have money, you feel like you're top dog. When you have enough money, you feel like you don't have to worry about anything. So, is it the money you're addicted to, or is it the feeling of security it brings you when you have it? So that you got to learn the distinction. Therapy is gay, get a dog. Tell it your problems, it won't look at you weird. Money is dumb. I threw $20 of quarters in quarters at the stripper today. Vang, you got a wild life. You're living wildly. Hey, it's your path. It's your path, man. It's your path. Whatever you need to experience now, we accept for you. Okay? I think that was Ricky. Yeah, her name is Ricky. She actually passed recently, which is really sad. She passed of cancer. My old neighbor. We used to be good friends. And then she jumped me and I moved away. And she made my nose crooked, but it's okay. So, Spirit says, mindful wisdom create inner harmony. If you want to experience a harmonic outer world, then we have to work on ourselves inwardly. We have to address these addictions. We have to address our negative thoughts about ourselves, the way we speak to ourselves, which we're going to talk about in the new episode of Spirit News, episode 19, The Rise of the Divine Feminine. If you want to be with us for our live broadcast, it's September 28th at 6 a.m. We're going to do our first live Spirit News podcast broadcast. It's going to be exciting. I don't know what's going to happen, but it's segmented. It's going to have spirit songs, 5D observations, teacher feature. It's going to be fun. There's a channeled message about rise of the divine feminine energy. Whoa, karma. Hope I don't make patients lose patience. No, I don't think so. I don't think so. I'm not really worried about the broads. Okay. I tell you what, y'all better be respectful unless you're looking for a B-town. Oh, thank you so much. Don't worry about it. People just can say what they want. It's fine. All right. Oh, thank you for all the follows. Thank you for all the likes, comments. Thank you for all the interaction. I'm so grateful. Spirit songs, like Halloween songs? No, like spirit songs, like songs that Spirit gives to me to help help the collective understand the energy. But I'm not going to tell you. I already have the songs, and it's for divine feminine energy. You got to tune into the episode to know what they are. I'm not going to tell you. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Yeah, make sure you're hitting that like button. Make sure you're subscribing. I love you so much. I'm so happy you're here. Kundalini rising, ignite your passion for life. Yes. It's time to start focusing on you guys. There's a lot of people here who've been focusing on other people, what people think, what people are doing. It's time for us to focus on ourselves. What do I like to do? What are the things that bring joy for me? I'm going to go to that. I'm going to go to that sound healing. I'm going to go do that workout. I'm going to go buy that shirt I wanted. The things that make you happy. We're going to have to start turning inward and start just working on ourselves. And, if you're having a hard time working on your mind, Spirit says the best thing to do to help kind of segue you into like working on controlling your mind and your thoughts is working on your body. Working on your body. Start exercising. Start moving your energy. Once you move energy, you'll see that it's a lot easier to start. Oh, thank you so much, Patrick. Thank you. You didn't have to do that. You do not. Nobody has to give me any money. This is not for money. I just like the connection. So please don't feel obligated to do that. Thank you so. You know what? I'm so grateful for that $1. I think that's $1 more than what I had a second ago. So thank you so much. And I think when people say exercise, for people who aren't used to moving their bodies, it can feel like a task. It can feel like, a chore. But really, we need to make things more fun. So exercise does not have to be some you don't have to turn into some Instagram influencer and be this exercise person. Just go for a walk. Just go to a new place you've never been to and walk around. You could go to the mall and walk around, So I think we need to just reframe the way we think about things and the way that we think about things when it comes to ourselves and the way we take care of ourselves. It doesn't have to be this grandiose movement we make that is has to change our life now. Spirit says it's always the small steps we take. It's never one big jump. It's the small steps we take. The little, like Van, he what did he say? He found 3 beers in the fridge, so it's one small step. It doesn't have to be some grandiose giant leap for us to be happy. So pole dancing underrated. Well, pole dancing is very hard. Honestly, it is. I don't think it's for the weak of heart. The weak of heart, for sure. Pole dancing takes a lot of strength. Spirit messages, observe limitations. I just said that. Thank you, Spirit. Come through. I just said that. Observe your limitations. You don't have to push yourself so hard. Let me do this puzzle piece. You don't have to push yourself so hard where it becomes not fun. Okay? That's what we do. We do things, we take up painting, and then all of a sudden we're so worried about people looking at our paintings and not liking them that it literally takes the fun out of doing it. I was just talking about this the other day when it comes to luxury brands. You know, luxury brands are now, they're obsolete. They're obsolete because they're not needed anymore. But back in the day when they were created in a time where that time needed something, some kind of outlet, creative outlet, where someone could have something nice and it could be well made and it could come from a place of passion and love. And that's where a luxury brand was created. But nowadays, these old luxury brands are all about making money. And it's just about the label. It's just about the name. They're made on, they're made in large quantities. They're not special anymore. And so it's kind of has to do with this. Observe your limitations. You can be happy right now with just taking a small step towards where you want to go, and then be happy about that, and then the next day you can take the next step, and it doesn't have to be so hard. You don't have to make it so hard on yourself, so observe your limitations. Start small. Take a small step. You could even go in the backyard and walk around your yard. You could go into nature. Just going into nature can move your energy for you way more than your own thoughts could. Smirnoff, what are you, 5-drink paint thinner? I don't know what that means. Go for a walk. I didn't build a chopper so I could go for a walk. Well, then that's your limitation. That's your limitation. You built a chopper, but you can't go for a walk. You have to move your energy. You got to move your energy. You could go for a walk around your chopper. When you could go on your chopper if you want, if that moves your energy. Like, everybody is different. If you go get on your chopper and you feel afterwards you feel relaxed, you feel open to receive, you feel loved, you feel joy, then go on your chopper. Then absolutely. Identify the things that are good for you by the way they make you feel. If you feel anxiety, if you feel pressure, if you feel angst, then that's not the thing for you. What's the next thing you could do to help you alleviate those feelings? Do a couple crunches, do a jumping jack. It's a small step. You drink an orange juice, I drink a screwdriver. Hey, good morning, Jason. Thanks for being here. Thanks for being here. All right, I'll do one more. Oh, thank you for the follows. Thank you so much. I'm so happy that you're here. I'm going to do one more card and then I'm going to wrap it up, okay? So the things that Spirit wants us to focus on is mindful wisdom, create inner harmony. Stop waiting to be happy when this happens. Start being happy now. Start finding things that fill up your spirit, hobbies. Start having a passion for your life now. Observe your limitations. Shield your energy. Look beneath the surface. Yeah, shield your energy. Stop hanging out with people that do things you should get away from. Stop talking with people that gossip. Stop listening to the news when it scares you. Stop looking at those shorts that spread hate and make you feel angry all the time. Look for the things that bring you joy. Look for the things that make you happy. Do the things that move your energy so you can start filling your cup with new energy, with new ideas, start being creative. Those are the things that we need to focus on. And our society might say, oh, well, those things are a waste of time because they don't get anything done. But that's not true. If you want alignment, you have to be in alignment first, and then everything on the outside will start falling into play. So I think that's a valuable message. I'm going to go put it on the TikToks to condense it. And I love you so much. Thank you so much for being with us. This was a fun one. I know it was a little different than what we usually do. Remember, we post every weekend, every Saturday, Sunday. So tomorrow we're going to be here with, I'll either do Ozzy or I'm going to do a true crime because I did get a true crime. I'm not sure what I'm going to do yet, but if you want to tune in, I'll be here tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. And if you want to be notified when we post or when we go live, please subscribe and hit the like button and the notification bell so you can get told when we come on. We're going to have our live broadcast of episode number 19 of Spirit News, where we bring you high perspectives of linear views on September 28th at 6 a.m. Please put it in your calendar. We're going to have our live broadcast of episode 19, The Rise of the Divine Feminine, and we'd love for you to be a part of it. Thank you so much. Eastern, 6 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm in Rhode Island, Eastern Standard Time. Thank you so much, you guys. I love you. I'll see you tomorrow morning. Bye. Have a great day.